Hey Tom, how's it going, buddy? I just wanted to put this little video together to welcome you to the Sustainable Shred Nutrition Program, and just run you through the Google Sheets that we'll be using to track your progress. And just show you how you use it, and talk you through basically the thought process behind your calories and stuff like that. So the first page is your weekly calendar. That's your starting weight there. I've just put your MyFitnessPal URL there, just so it's all in the same place. These are your calories. So based on your height, your weight, your age, your activity level, blah, 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 these are what your numbers look like. So on a high day, or basically a training day, you'll be looking at 2654. On a low day or a non-training day, we drop that by 500 calories because we're creating that deficit for you to lean out and feel a little bit lighter. So worked out over the week, your weekly calories are 17,078, which gives you an average every day of 2,439. So below is just your weekly calendar, how I would set out your week, which obviously you don't have to stick to. You can play around with it. But yeah, it's just how I would set it out and what I think is preferential for what you want to do. So we know you do CrossFit and you said that you train 4 times a week. So ideally we want to try and train Monday, Tuesday, have a rest Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then the weekend off. Which would be preferential to you. Again, if you need to change it around or you can't do that every week. But always try and get your 4 sessions in. And I'll go through to the tracker in a minute and you can kind of enter in when you're training. Cardio, you're already doing your cardio in your CrossFit, so we don't need to worry about that. Steps, I want you to try and aim for 10,000 a day. When you sent over your lifestyle, it was a little bit all over the place. Some days you were up to like 9,000, other days were as low as like 3,000, I think. Can't remember exactly, but it was a little bit all over the place. So I want you to try and aim for at least 10,000 Monday to Friday, and then Saturday and Sunday you can kind of not rest, but just you don't have to track them. It's not an issue if we're getting the 5,000 in over the 5 days, or the 50,000 in, sorry, over the 5 days. So calories, I'll just go down. This is kind of how I would set it up. So looking at your lifestyle analysis sheet, you were mainly consuming, like you had a lot of calories consumed, but I think that was through alcohol on a Friday. There was a lot of calories consumed on the Wednesday, and I'm not sure as to why that was. But having a look at your MyFitnessPal, things like your protein were really low on some days, like really, really low, and then high on other days. Fats, again, like up and down. Some days they were really low, some days they were really high, and then the majority of your macronutrients was carbs, like you were carb heavy. So what I've tried to do is I've tried to set it up so that you've kind of got a bit more of a balance. So you're going to aim for 2,300 Monday to Thursday. So that's every single day, 2,300. On a Friday, I've bumped that up to 3,000, so you can have a bit of a cheat day. Obviously, if you want to go to the pub or you want to go out drinking, then you've got that excess in calories to be able to do that. And then Saturday, Sunday, we've kind of balanced it out. Again, you've got a little bit of extra calories. But again, these aren't set in stone, these numbers. That's your weekly target, and you can adjust these how you would like. I have techniques if you're struggling with creating a balance that keeps you at this level. So yeah, we'll have a play around with that. Protein, I want you to aim for 180 grams every single day, no matter what you're doing. 180 grams of protein is kind of the bottom threshold of what you need to be in. It's a little bit above, but I've set you at that because some days your protein was so low, so I don't want to set your protein too high and make it unachievable. So if we set it at 180 every day, I think that's kind of an achievable level from where you're at to where we kind of want to be. So that's your weekly calendar. Next, we'll move on to your nutrition and progress tracker. So in here, you have week 1, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then week 2, week 3, and week 4. And then we'll obviously assess from there. Along the top is your weight in pounds. So you're going to be weighing yourself every single day. That should have been made clear from the welcome pack. You weigh yourself every single day. And you just put your weight in here. And so we're starting at like 220. So Monday it'll probably be 220. So you put that in there. And then Tuesday, we're not really taking much notice of what's going on, so it probably won't change that much within the first few days. But then let's say it drops down by a pound or 2, whatever. As you keep adding it in throughout the week, you'll get your average here, and that's what we want to focus on. So I'll just put in some different numbers. So you're weighing yourself every single day, enter it in here, and it'll work out what your average is for the week in there, and that's kind of the number that we want to focus on. We're not too bothered about the numbers that we put in here. Same again for your protein. So your target is 180 a day, but let's say one day, so you do 180 tomorrow because you bang at it, and then the next day you only do 170. The aim is to obviously have an average protein intake of 180 a week. So then again, you drop down. Then to make up for it, you try and bump it up. So you have a 200 calorie day, and then that brings it back up, and so on and so on. So these are kind of the numbers that you're focusing on here. This was your average split throughout the day. So if we do 2,300, like we said, 2,300, 2,300, 2,300, and then you go 3,000, 2,4, 2,4. That should bring you out, I mean, pretty much near enough what your average should be every day. Training. Here you're going to put in what you did. So if you do CrossFit on the Monday, just put the CrossFit in the Monday there. Training 4 days, put when you have a rest day, and so on and so on. Cardio we don't need to focus on. Steps, we're going to continue to track in your steps. So 10,000, just put how many steps in there you've been doing every day. Hunger, so obviously some days you're going to be doing less calories than others. I just want you to rate kind of how hungry you are. If you're really, really hungry, whack a 10 in there. If you're not that hungry, then just kind of rate how hungry you've been on a certain day, and just let me know. And then obviously it helps me make changes to it. Sleep's a vital part of weight loss. So again, just rate it how well you felt you've slept that night. Soreness after CrossFit, your legs sore or your arms sore. Again, it can affect kind of your training, so you might not be putting as much effort into certain training if you're sore from the day before or the week before. Just track it in there. And I have access to all this, so we both can access this, and I can kind of track it in real time. And this is where I'll email you over a check-in every week, but then obviously I'm going to be looking at this and making sure we're kind of hitting the numbers that we are. And then if you're doing this right and this isn't corresponding, then I know we need to make changes and blah, blah, blah. And if you're getting the training in, and like I say, you've got week 1, week 2, week 3, and week 4, and then we'll do a debrief video and we'll make any changes that we need to make. This is your measurements. So if tomorrow or when you get a chance, just do a general first measurements, fill these in, and then there's 10 measurement boxes there. I'll kind of ask you when I feel as though we want to be doing measurements. You don't have to do that kind of on a weekly basis. I'll just say, send me over, fill in your measurements this week or whatever. And that'll generally be if like this isn't moving in the direction that we want it to be, or if I feel as though we've kind of made certain progress, I might ask you for your measurements. So yeah, that's it. In the email there'll be a link to this. You can download the Google Sheets app to your phone and get cracking with it, or you can obviously just fill it in with your laptop. But yeah, try and fill it in every week. It'll keep me updated and I'll be able to follow exactly what you're doing. And then obviously with the weekly check-ins, you'll be able to give me some feedback on how you feel as though everything's going. I hope that all makes sense. If it doesn't, give me a shout, you know where I am. But yeah, just have a look at it and see how you feel about it. Again, on the calories, just let me know if you want to change them around, and if you feel as though it's kind of I've got the balance wrong a little bit, then just let me know. All right, buddy. I'll catch you soon.